All right, guys, welcome to David Dudley Outdoors. And yes, this is getting ready to be a hot topic. It is. Let's get real. This is going to be a hot topic. The topic is going to be, yes, 5 bass limits that we've known for all our lives, okay? And if for any of you all have grown up in bass fishing, we've always been accustomed to a 5 bass limit, which is to bring your biggest 5 bass in after 4 days, 3 or 4 days, whichever tournament circuit you fished, and whoever has the most accumulative weight was considered to be the winner. Now, new to the bass fishing world is every fish counts as long as it is 1 pound or better. Okay, 1 pound or better is a format that has now come out through Major Leauge Fishing, which is going to be adopted through Bass Pro Tour, where you have the Bassmaster Tour, who has kept true to the 5 bass limit that we're accustomed to. So here we go. Before you comment, don't even do it. Don't do it. If you're a hater of one way or the other, and the only thing you're going to put in there is saying, I don't like the 5 bass limit, okay? This discussion that I'm about to enter, please, let's logically discuss this out. I want to learn, okay? I've never fished the every fish counts format. So I'm unbiased. I have no opinion on it. I've never done it, okay? I've seen it, I've watched it on TV, and I can appreciate the anglers that go out and catch every fish. But before you comment, I'm probably going to already answer your comment in this video. So what I'm begging you is, please comment, okay? But if you comment, give me a logical reason to think of, not just let your emotions, I just don't like it, and 5 bass is going to ruin the world, okay? Or every fish counts is going to ruin the fishing world. Don't just comment emotionally. I want you to comment logically. So if you comment, give me something that I'm going to go, I hear you, whatever your name is. Okay? Give me something to think about that is the reason you don't appreciate it and that it makes sense. Not an emotional comment where you're just whatever and you just think that catching big fish doesn't really prove you as a fisherman, or catching a lot of fish doesn't prove you as a fisherman. Okay? Whichever way you are. Again, I'm neutral, guys. I'm getting ready to start on the Major Leauge Fishing Bass Pro Tour to go catch a lot of bass. And hopefully I can do that. I'm excited. It's a new chapter in my career. But I want to give you some food for thought. Before you comment, please wait till the end to comment because I don't really want to read a lot of emotions on here. Let's work together in this, and let's see if we can brainstorm something together, okay? So what are you accustomed to? You're accustomed to a highlighted society. And I want you to think about this again before you comment. We live in a highlighted society. What I mean by that is this. We can go watch a 2-hour football game in 10 minutes on YouTube, where they highlight everything. They take out the penalties, they take out the downtime, the timeouts, whatever, and they only give you, they take away the punts if it wasn't important. You can watch a 10-minute game, a 2-hour game in 10 minutes. Fishing, we have been accustomed to this. Before live coverage, now hold on, before live coverage, we were accustomed to a 45-minute TV show where they highlight a big fish here, key fish here, and we get to see the highlights, we get to see the story, and they even condense them to a 21-minute show. There's 21 minutes, and they tell a whole story, fishing story, who won it in 21 minutes. So it was either 45 minutes or 21 minutes. Now, that was all the way up until, let's say, a few years ago. Now, all of a sudden, we got live coverage. Dude, I am a bass fishing live coverage fan. I love it. I love it. I don't care where I'm at. If I get a chance, if Major Leauge Fishing has live on, I'm going to watch it. If Bassmaster has it on, I'm going to watch it. And here's what I want to suggest you guys. Guys, I did a video on how to watch live bass fishing coverage. If you're watching this, go back and watch it. Actually, let's put it up in a link right here, wherever he can put it. Okay, watch that video, and I teach you what to look for in them anglers. I teach you what's going on in that boat and how to study them more than just catching a fish. So again, we live in a highlighted world. So after every tournament, what does the bass fishing circuits do? They go from their GoPro footage. They're like, hey, watch David Dudley catch one underneath his dock. Watch such and such. It's like ESPN highlights. At the end, we get all this highlighted film, and we see all these big fish get caught, and yet we're still not watching the game. Bass Fishing Live has brought us to where we're watching an 8-hour game. That's awesome. That's awesome. And I'm just going to tell you again, if you just want to watch the highlights of a film, you got it. But you're not going to learn what you can. Now, you're asking, what does this have to do versus 5 fish versus every fish counts? Okay, again, wait to the comments, because I'm probably going to already answer your question to begin with through this video. Okay, so now, what does this have to do with the 5 bass limit, okay, versus every fish counts? When we brought Bass Fishing Live in, let's just take for an example, you're watching Bassmaster Live. They have the 5 bass limit. You're getting ready to watch them for 8 straight hours. During that 8 hours, every single tournament, they're going, whoosh, you know, man, that was, you know, as a non-keeper. Or, whoosh, they catch one, it's a keeper, it's a 14-inch keeper. He runs back there and puts it in a live well, and he's like, man, I hope to get rid of that, right? And he goes out there again, little one, little one, little one. Boom, he catches a 6-pounder. You're like, dude, that's awesome. He caught a 6-pounder. Whoa, 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 whoa. You just watched him catch 8 fish and then got a 6-pounder. You see where I'm going with this? But you're not pissed off because you saw him catch 7. Are you really pissed off that he caught 7 before a 6-pounder? No. So then he catches another 2. He catches a 2. Boom, he catches a 3 1/4. Now he's getting up to 11 or 12 pounds. He catches 5 more fish, and then he catches another 3-pounder. You're like, man, that's all. And he comes in at the end of the day, whatever. David Dudley got a 5 bass limit. 18 pounds, 9 ounces. You love it, right? You love it. Because David went out and caught 18 pounds, 7 ounces with 5 bass. That proves that he's a big fisherman. Food for thought. You watched him the whole day catch 30 other bass that were whatever, not the size, not his top 5, but you watched him catch 30 other bass. Are you pissed off because you just watched him catch 30 other bass? Are you? Are you mad that he had to go through non-keepers to get to? Guys, I've been fishing for 25 years. I got trophies everywhere behind me. Bassmaster, FLW trophies. I've got $4 million in tournament winnings. Over $4 million. I know the game, okay? If you're new to the channel, this is who I am. I know the game. I wouldn't have 4 angler years if I didn't know the game. Now listen, here's what I want you to understand. We're about to start talking about every fish counts, right? Before you comment, I want you guys to put yourself in our shoes, all the professionals out here. When we're talking about fishing, we're not talking about going out by yourself, taking a tennis shoe size swim bait, throwing it out there and catching a big fish. Because that's not how it happens on a 4-day or 3-day tournament scene, okay? Where you have $60,000 to $80,000 on the line. We're not talking about a $100 entry fee. We're talking $60,000 to $80,000. We could go buy a house in a lot of places for $80,000. We're gambling that. We're putting that money on the line. So you have to adopt our thinking. Our thinking, yes, we'd like to go swing for the fences, which I hate, right? We'd like to say that, but we can't use that statement, and we can't fly by that in all the tournaments, because more times than not, you're going to bust. Now, it's okay. It's fair. Guys, I want to be fair in my discussion in saying, if you are like Ish Monroe, he definitely claims he's the big fish magician, right? And he is. He's a phenomenal fisherman, and my boy flat out knocks some big bass down. He's incredible with it, okay? That's his mentality, and that's okay, okay? But in a 4-day event, a lot of times, and when Ish is on, he's on. Like, you don't want him catching a big bag 2 days in a row, because he's probably going to do it day 3 and 4. Okay, you can do it that way. But it's not the mentality that I've taken, and the majority, not minority, majority of the most successful bass fishermen out there don't swing for the fences every day. What they call swinging, like throwing tennis shoe swim baits and 1-ounce jigs and all this big, giant bait stuff. We don't do that, okay? I don't do that, okay? So now let's go back to, now we're going to discuss every fish counts. Now, guys, again, I'm neutral. I have no opinion of this. I just discussed 5 bass limit. Now I'm going to discuss every fish counts. What has brought the every fish count up to our attention? Major League Fishing, which now they have acquired FLW. So we now have the FLW Pro Tour, which is a feeder tour to the Bass Pro Tour of Major League Fishing. Okay, so I now have a chance to go fish in the format of every bass counts. I've never done it before. I've seen it the last few years on TV. I've watched footage of it. I really don't have an opinion of it. I'm excited. I can't wait to do it, because I think it's going to fit my format, the way, my style. But let's discuss that. Okay, now we have a format where every fish counts. And the fish that are being counted is any bass above 1 pound. So let's go to the live footage of a Major League Fishing event. For the most part, if I went in the area and I got 25 bites, guess where I'm going to go fish the first day of my event, where I got 25 bites at. So what's happened is, in an 8-hour day, what seems to be has upset a lot of people is that they are watching and giving credit to a 1 pounder. Now, again, we just watched Bassmasters 5 bass limit. They just caught 30 fish. Major League Fishing just caught 30 fish. But guess what's happening that you're probably not understanding? During that 30 fish, it went, whatever, 1 pounder, 1/2, 2 pounder, 2 pounder, 5 pounder, 1/2, 3 pound, 3 pounder, 1/2, 1/2, 2 pounder, 1/2, 1/2, 5 pounder. But they're still weighing the 1 to 1 to 1 to 5 pounder, the 1 to 1. So at the end of the day, guys, guess what you just watched? Exactly what some people want on the 5 bass limit. If we actually go through and look at his scoreboard, guess what he just caught? 19 pounds, 7 ounces. You watched the tournament leader through every fish format, and you just watched him catch a 19-pound bag. Same thing, guys. It's the same thing, but it's through watching Bassmaster. It's through watching it through live coverage. Now, again, what the 5 bass limit organizations are doing is they're just filtering out all the 1 pounders for the end of the day total and giving you the 19-pound bag. Well, or Major League Fishing is doing the same thing, but they're just saying, hey, if he was skilled enough to catch all those bass, then we're going to give him credit for it. Now, here's what you're going to say in your comments. Again, guys, hold off on your comments. Guys, hit the subscribe button. I got a lot of fishing videos out there. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that like button. If we're only halfway through, hit it through. Now, let's talk about again, every fish count. He still caught the 19-pound bag you wanted. He still did. You wanted that highlighted film. You wanted that highlighted whatever. Now you can watch the tournament, and guess what they're highlighting in the tournament? The same organizations are showing you the big fish catch. The same ones you can watch on YouTube. The same big fish that you can watch after the event. But some people get so upset that they had to sit there and watch 1 pounder, 1 pounder, 1 pounder, 1 pounder, 4 pounder. You're so mad that you had to do that. Why? So logically give me a reason why. Because on Bassmasters, you're doing the same thing. Hey, here he is. When they're on somebody, he happens to catch one. It's a 1 pounder. Are you pissed off? Are you going to turn off Bassmaster Live because of that? No, you're not. You're going to keep on watching. He threw a 14-incher in the live well. Are you pissed off because he threw a 14-incher in the live well and you only want big fish? Would you rather him throw it back and not have a limit? I don't understand the logic in between both scenarios. I'm not saying I'm not favoring one way or the other. I'm just trying to understand what is making people either mad about 5 fish limit or what is making them mad. If you comment and just say there's no skill in catching 12 inchers, whoa. I challenge you to go out and do like Jacob Willowdeer, catch 87 bass in one day. Tell me that ain't skill. I don't care how many numbers. Catching bass is skill. And you get in a boat with me or whoever it is and you're always competitive, what do? You keep score when you're in the boat, right? If you say it's no skill, you should never lose an event in the boat. If you're out there fishing with your buddy and 12 inches or nothing, we all keep score in our head. You know, if we're out fishing somebody, a lot of big fish is luck, guys. It's luck, okay? And what I mean by that is this. I'm going to give you my luck factor in bass fishing. Can I tie a tennis shoe swim bait on? And I keep saying tennis shoe swim bait. Could I tie a big jig on, a big bait, and big everything, and go out there and swing for the fences, and I'm going to catch me a big bass? Yeah, I could. But in a 4-day, $80,000 gamble, we're not going to put the tennis shoe swim bait on. We're not going to do it. Big fish is a lot of luck to me. And before you comment, I want you to think. Don't comment before you think. Think about what I'm telling you. If I go out and let's just say I'm flipping a jig, right? And the water's in the bushes and we're all going around flipping jigs in the bushes. You know, the guy who has the most better presentation, the guy who skips it into the bush the furthest, the guy who has the right hook set, the guy who can muscle them out of there the best, there's a lot of other skill that gets involved. So there's a guy who goes out and gets 10 bites, and then I went through and my presentations was better than this guy. He got 10 bites, but I presented that jig in there better than he did, and I got 20 bites. We're both throwing jigs. Now here's where the luck factor comes in. The luck factor is this. He flipped in the bush. He got a bite. He set the hook. He caught a 7-pounder. I flipped in the bush. I got a bite. I set the hook. I caught a 3-pounder. Was that more skill than me? Huh? Let's get honest, guys. Was that more skill because he caught a 7-pounder and I caught a 3-pounder? That's why I love 4-day events, because the cream of the crop are going to come to the top. Now, 4 days in a row, he ain't going to outluck me on that 7-pounder 4 days in a row. But the guy who gets the most bites is the most skilled. He's going to have a better chance. So after 4 days, he got 40 bites. I got 80 bites. Who's going to win the tournament? Huh? The more opportunity of bites you give yourself, the more chances you have to catch a big fish. Okay? Again, this is a professional bass fisherman's mindset on an $80,000 a year entry fees and travel expenses, and this is what we go for. We go for the odds. So big fish, I could give you another example. I throw by the end of a dock, I get bit, I set the hook, I caught a 2-pounder, throwing a wacky worm. He threw by the end of the dock, he threw over there, he caught an 8-pounder. That's a little bit more luck. So understand this. If you are one way or the other, give me some logic. Give me something to think about. Like, give me some comment that I'm going to read and go, Or did I make your eyes open to the fact that if you're watching Bassmaster Live, then you watch them catch a lot of short fish? Did that piss you off? Or if you're watching MLF, we're watching the same short fish, the same little keepers get caught, and they've elected to say, hey, we're going to reward you because, man, you got 30 bites and he only got 15. You are clearly the better fisherman. Big fish doesn't equal better fisherman, okay? And just getting lots of bites, you can say that does it, but there's a lot of skill in getting a lot of bites, okay? So if your food for thought is this: if you want big fish and highlighted films, stick to TV, stick to YouTube, maybe shy away from watching live fishing, but don't create an attitude about if you happen to favor MLF, Major League Fishing, and you're watching some anglers catch some smaller fish. All year long, you watch them catch small fish, small fish, small fish, then a 3-pounder. A 3-pounder at Table Rock, dude, that's giant. And if that guy was to come in with 14 pounds at the end of the day, you're like, man, he's awesome. He had 14 pounds at the end of the day. You watched him catch 14 pounds, but you watched him catch everything else in between. Why should that make you mad? Why should that? Shouldn't make you mad. It don't make me mad that they're culling out fish. I'm not mad either way. All right, guys. Comment below. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. And this episode is brought to you by Fisherman Central. If you haven't checked out fishermancentral.com, they have an incredible tackle selection. Tackle selection you can't even get anywhere. Check them out online, fishermancentral.com. And I'm giving you the double outro.